to do this real quick. It won't take long. I just think it's hilarious.
Sure.
So wait, so clear up for me. So what did you just said something about do? I just call it scammer part two, and I realized I think you're talking about the video. Okay. But
Yeah,
what's the
yeah.
next statement? You said, "LOL, I know a future trading mod." Something. Okay, read that to me and tell me what that meant. What is that? Quite a few reports.
Yeah, basically, I don't know if you're familiar with Reddit. They
I'm
get
not real.
these moderator.
Honestly, I'm not real familiar.
Yeah, they get these moderator logs, and pretty much it's just it will show all the various reasons. So it just people will have all kind of BS reasons. Like trying to sell something or pushing a platform or spam. Just and it's all this just really no reason to actually report anything. So I mean, I don't think it's something that they'll take seriously. So I don't think they're going to take that down.
Okay. So you're giving me good news. What you're saying? So they're not going to take down the Reddit thing? Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what I saw. Somebody sent me something again. Like they are so paranoid. They think anybody in there is me. Like they falsely accuse me of being them. So wait, okay, this is this is so hilarious. These guys' minds are so wrecked. And what's sad is they're just not interested in the truth if it means that they're wrong, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
scary. And look, I understand like people like don't want to be wrong. Nobody likes to be wrong, but at some point you gotta like admit like, dude, I might be wrong about something. I think it's so funny, but dude, there's like apparently they are adamant that Ronald dash dash was me in there. And so apparently now I'm talking to myself like I'm like the best ventriloquist in the world. I'm throwing my voice as we speak right now. Just so you know, I decided to go ahead and I kicked the button off just a minute ago because you said you're going to hop in here. I kicked the button off. I'm recording our conversation right now just in case we could play it in the video.
Sure.
If you give me permission, I'm going to run a hilarious video on this whole thing where Ron is me talking to me as me is me talking to me because I'm trying to get in. All the funny stuff that they say about what we do. They're so paranoid about what we're doing. They just can't figure out that it's real simple, ladies and gents.
It's crazy, man.
Algobox makes reading the markets very easy. Like that's all I can say. Like that's what more can you say? Is that we do a good job, not because it's faking, not because people are scamming, not because like all the stuff that their problems are. And then they did you find the irony in how they're like, well, I would only trust a 2-year broker, what would they say? 2-year third party
Oh
verified,
God.
right?
And then
Okay.
and that's not to even mention all the problems that you posted all the errors and everything else that you were having with Collective too. So I mean, as far as
Yeah, to
I'm
not
concerned, it's
acknowledge
irrelevant.
to
It's
that and
irrelevant
then
anyways.
yeah,
Absolutely.
to not acknowledge that and then say that, well, because the CEO said it wasn't. I even in the same video I show them that the CEO is clearly biased and he doesn't want people to know that his stuff is trash, and I get that, but recognize people's incentives. Like Collective 2, Matthew Klein does not want everybody to know that his one-way directional NinjaTrader API transaction protocol is crap. That's all. And it's not that it's complete crap. It just has issues when it comes to Algobox. And I've told people it's simply because of the way Algobox does things, which, by the way, folks, we're badass because we don't do things like everybody else does. When are they going to recognize that? Like when people, even on that Reddit thread, they're like, well, proper risk management is this and this. Dude, if your proper risk management rules that you guys post on Twitter every day, everybody knows the stuff that you're repeating, dude. Guess what?
Yeah,
I don't do
absolutely.
that. Well, let me tell you about my risk rules. My risk rules are 90 minutes. So first of all, I have a time-based risk level. And mind you, my risk level is an onion. There are multiple layers. Layer number 1, you are maximum exposure to the markets 90 minutes in a single day for the people that are learning to trade, okay? Period. 90 minutes max. But I recommend 60 minutes first because, again, this comes out of Market Wizard's book. Like, it's the only book that literally agrees with me that I've ever seen written. Maybe there's another. I'm not saying that I'm the only one. But I've recognized that, look, here's the study. Like, I don't know if you know this or not, so just bear with me. You may already know this. I'm not trying to, like, teach you something. But if you learn something from this, or the people who are going to listen to this later, maybe they'll get it. But the human body is capable of maximum levels of intensity of concentration for 60 to 90 minutes. So we tie that in with, I want you to maximize your intensity level of concentration for trading in the same way, and then walk away. Same thing like a video game. Like a guy who streams 24 hours, like a guy might be a badass Battlefield player, right? But if he plays it all day, do you think he's playing at his top on hour number 5? No,
Definitely
like
not.
go ask a streamer. Like these are just things that are just logical that I don't know why they bypass people. But look, if they don't think that I do what we do here, yeah, I don't know how else to trade, how else to prove it to them. I mean, broker statements, 1 year track records, then it's 2. Then it's, well, he didn't give us every track record. I explained that I have 27-page broker statements and that I'm not going to spend every day doing that. That's not enough for him. The thing is it's not that it's not enough. Because ultimately I go, okay, so then here's all I ask. Then hold yourself to the same standard. You show me yours. You show me your 2-year track record. You show me a guy who is showing you his broker statements. Like if you guys say that showing literally redacting all of my broker statements for an entire month and posting them out there under the video. Mind you, again, I told you guys about the 2-account thing, right? Do you understand that whole thing? Like how these guys will run 2 accounts in both directions? Like you saw that video?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So then if somebody is showing you,
they're going out of their way to try to just below it and make it seem like there's some huge following when in reality it's probably just a handful of people. I'd be surprised if it's even maybe, I mean, I don't know, 4 or 5. It just seems like a handful of nuts.
oh wait, are you talking about in Seth Ellis's show room?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Well, you know what's interesting about that? So I've been following them for a long time. I know you're new to their room, so I mean,
well, I was banned. I was banned from making money with AlgoBox. Unfortunately,
wait, repeat that. I'm gonna turn this up one more time. Repeat that for the audience that's gonna future end up listening to this. Repeat that again.
I was banned from Seth's room for basically posting successful results with AlgoBox, and I'm new to all this. I mean, it was probably maybe my second or third post in the room. I said, hey, has anyone tried this program? Of course, they all start talking shit, saying, all kinds of random stuff. Well, I said, hey, I got it open right now. I'm getting a long signal for science. I'll buy some contracts. We'll see if it works. No biggie. And I wasn't aware of all this vitriol.
Of course not. No, like a normal person, a natural person who just walks in there has no idea what kind of bomb you're going to run into in that room. So tell us what happened. Your personal experience as you go into that room and you tell them you tried it. What happened?
Yeah, so at this point, I've said, fine, I'll buy a few contracts for science. I'm getting a long signal from AlgoBox. I went ahead and did it. I mean, it was probably about an hour later. I'd made I think it was about 120, probably 100 after commission.
Now, mind you, this was micros. Did you say micros?
Yeah, micros.
Okay, folks, ladies and gents who are going to watch this later, you may not even know what micros are. But the fact that he made $120 micros, now, mind you, full disclosure, I don't trade micros. I've been an E-mini guy forever. There's a difference between micros and E-minis, so for the educational content of the rest of the room, if he made $120 in micros, that's a lot for micros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, folks who are listening into this, had he taken this on E-minis, they are 10 times the value, which means, yes, ladies and gents, he basically said to that room, he took the trades that came out of AlgoBox, the signals that it said to do with our strategies, as a new person who barely knows squat about our product, takes them, makes money with it. I will tell you that the tune of that means that you actually made $1,200, ladies and gents. Yes. $1,200 yes, on E-minis. $120 in Microland is $1,200. I mean, and they laughed at you and they said that you're scamming and that you were me. So tell us that part of it. So success over there means failure in their room. Like they only allow people who are losing money. So here's Vinny's theory. Okay, they are a cry room. I call it a cry room. Everybody, look, when you are miserable, okay, they say misery loves company. So I understand it. You want to go in that room. If you need a shoulder to cry on, go over there. But when you're done crying, ladies and gentlemen, pick your head up, look up. We are over here. We are 8,000 members strong. They have 4,000 somehow in that room. Like, this is the ratio of us versus them. 8,000 in our room. They have 4,000, ladies and gents. They're half our size, but at one point they were the largest. This is why they don't like us, number one reason, and because we are successful. They cannot stand that at all. They are pushing their Jigsaw product, which, by the way, ask them to show you somebody who has a 2-year track record in Jigsaw. Oh, wait, crickets. Oh, or any of their other. He says trading technologies, or any of the trading technologies that cost you like I forget. I'm not gonna. Don't quote me on this, but it's a lot of money per month to get that one. And by the way, don't know anybody who's making money with that one. But I'll tell you, somebody who took us to a challenge, Adam Webb of Macro Hedge, uses that trading technologies. Traded against me. We blew him out of the water. He quit on day 3 when we were up $7,000. He was up 300. Wow. Think about that ratio.
Wow.
7,000 that we had made in Algo Box in a competition. It was, by the way, it was a $10,000 competition. $10,000. We had made $7,000 in 3 days. Trading the same stuff, y'all. This is not like there was some magic whatever. He had made $380. We were up 7,000, ladies and gents. I don't know how much more anybody can possibly prove. Okay? We've recorded all that. We've shown all that. What's that?
I said the proof is there.
I feel like it's there.
I mean, the proof is out there.
But your story just cracks me up. Please tell us some more. So you succeeded. What led up to you? What were the things they said to you before you got banned from their room? And how long were you in their room? Just curious.
It was maybe, I think that was probably my 3rd day. I think maybe,
day.
And you know, I just kind of went in there randomly. I wasn't really like in it deep. But I actually posted the P&L for that trade, and that was right when I was kicked.
How dare you post your P&L?
Yeah. And then one of their dogs, I guess.
Gamma Trader.
I don't know.
I bet it was Gamma Trader. Was that the mod? Oh yeah, that's the guy who also says I live in a cheap house and that it's not paid off. All the other lies that he said about me. So funny. Okay, so Gamma Trader, what did he say to you?
Oh, he basically said, he flat out said the words. Well, he didn't say it to me. He typed it. He said, "I don't know if you can tell, but we don't like Vinny around here." And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the fuck does that have to do with this program, with Algo Box? It either works whether you like the guy or not. I mean, I don't care about that.
I'm not here to make friends. This is not what was the name of my room up here? By the way, like, there's a CNBC article out there that says that jerks are the best day traders, and of course they discredit that too. But I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just very direct so we can be efficient about things. But their whole thing, you're a good trader if you're a nice guy, which means that Ross Cameron apparently is the greatest trader on the planet, even though everybody who gets his program loses. And well, Seth seems real nice, him and his little, I'm not going to try to personally insult him, but he's a nice guy. Okay. And so, but just because you're a nice guy does not mean, just because you're a nice guy does not make you a great trader. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. That doesn't fix you. But like when you're super nice, but then you turn around and you literally won't allow a great product to be used. Yeah. Or, I mean, he can't stop you from using it, but he can stop you from saying good things about it in their room. Now, they will allow you to say bad things about our product all day long. But what's funny is the bad stuff is conjecture, speculation, hyperbole, and complete outright lies. If you go and Google anything, or not Google, but go hit their search box and search anything about us, it's so epically hilarious. But the truth is around here, we just let people use the tools. There are other products that they're talking about in their room. They won't even let you try them until you buy them, which to me is sickening. There's a product out there by backtothefutures.com. That group, let me tell you, they're a little scammed and whatnot. Ironically, that guy AK who trolls me so hard, who's running analytical kinetics, trying to get people, begging people to use his mentorship, even though he doesn't trade, hasn't traded in over a year, he lost his ass, came here, tells me his whole story, right? We eventually have to kick him out because he tries to help my trolls, like whatever, I won't even get the story of him, he's got a long story with us. But this product, they will charge you $10,000 up front. But it's like, so why is somebody going to spend $10,000? Well, they'll do a demonstration. They'll bring people this demonstration, the demo, blah, blah, blah. Them doing it not live, not any of that stuff, hindsight stuff, but showing where the tools would do the things. So, cool. So who wants to sign up today? By the way, before you do, they make you sign an NDA. They make you basically sign your life away. And then you don't just go and install it. They get on your computer, install it for you, put it all up, set it up. They walk away from you. And it literally, what you're signing is no takebacks. You're never getting your money back. Blah, 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 blah. I want this product. They stick it with you. And then everybody, they lose their money. and they're gone. That's the futures Back to the Futures, which, by the way, I think is a clever name. Okay, I think that's hilarious. I like that. The whole, I'm a geek. Okay, so Back to the Futures, that's pretty neat. Like, I wish I had a Back to the Futures domain. That's pretty fun. But they scam these people on something called warp dots. Look, see, unlike them, I'm not afraid to talk about their product. In fact, if you're dumb enough to go buy their product, go use it. In fact, I'll give Jigsaw a plug here. You want to use a crappy product? Go use Jigsaw, and I'll prove it to you that you'll lose your ass. By the way, I built all the good parts of Jigsaw into AlgoBox. So if you want the best of both worlds, do it. Now, ironically, I saw the other day, and I'm just giving a little history of this, and I still want to come back to your story. I think you'll love this. Just adding to this is that I saw in their room AKs over there going. Now, well, first of all, they actually challenged Seth. They said, Seth, why don't you talk to him? And he goes, no, I think we're doing fine. In fact, we're just going to keep getting him banned, and we're going to take down Reddit. So y'all go watch Reddit. Go look at that Reddit thing before it gets taken down. So he's basically reported it to get it taken down. He doesn't want our Reddit information out there, which is ironic because there's an actual open debate out there with his turds, lying about our stuff, us being able in an open forum for people could actually see results and responses. Heaven forbid that happen. They're like fascist, commie, socialists that want to take it down. But I'm glad you told me that they're not going to be able to. That's kind of nice. So it's out there for people to see. Yeah. But they challenged him to say, hey, why don't you challenge him in an open debate? He's like, no. So Seth, open, like people are going to hear this. You guys go ask Seth. Like, I am open for an open debate anytime he'd like to have a conversation. Because I think he is actually partially ignorant. Because I think Gamma Trader and the other trolls of mine that he has seen before, which by the way, they are straight up trolls and they're running their own services. Okay, so try to ask yourself what their purpose is and ask you. But all I say is, look, open challenge to anybody. And I'll say this again. We will take up a challenge against any product, any person, anytime. Okay, we are ready. We've beaten others, so now they won't take us up on that because on the outside chance that they lose, they know it's bad news for them. Okay, they won't risk it. That's what I found out because I'm like, why are these people not taking them up? Now you might want to ask, well, aren't I having the same risk? Yes, if our product gets beat and there's another product better than ours, guess what I'll do, ladies and gentlemen? I'll buy their product. Like, I am totally open. I've said this before, and I'll say it to you and as others that are going to listen to this later. If you find a product better and then that can happen, I'll buy yours. I'll buy you a copy of theirs and one for myself. So I'll buy it twice. So there's the incentive. If anybody ever hears this later, open window, open door that can occur. But yes, Seth has turned us down for the opportunity to do that. Now, so AK says, you should do a stream on this. He says, no, I don't think so. But it's because it's funny. Like, even when they ask him, he turns it down. What's funny, so AK said, oh no, he says this. He says, you should do a video comparing AlgoBox to Jigsaw. That's what he said. Okay, in fact, I'm going to go over here and get my screenshot that somebody sent to me. And it says, yes, why don't you do a contest, not really a contest, but you show it yourself, which is funny, right? They won't do it in a contest. He's like, you show how crappy the product is. Do a video on how crappy the AlgoBox is. Show it versus next to Jigsaw. He's like, no, I'm not gonna. See, he knows. He actually knows. Okay, so hilariously, ladies and gentlemen, like, you want to see the funniest thing in the world next year? Okay, AK, I got a screenshot of him quoting, and hold him to it, folks. AK, by the way, can't trade his way out of a paper bag. I know the guy personally. He is a scoundrel. He is a scumbag. He's the one that doxed my family. He's the one that's doing all this terrible stuff. We've sent cease and desist letters to him from our legal counsel and whatnot. But he is so adamant. Again, he's got a personal vendetta. He's just, no offense to him, 40-year-old incel. I'm not going to get into it. Your personal things about who you are. But the problem is he sees me as a target. I get it. He's upset. He hates me. He's admitted that. He said that out there in public. But the problem is, whatever you think about me, okay, it's like a Trump thing. Like, you may not like the guy, might not like how he rubs people the wrong way, but dude, you can't argue with his results. That's all I'm saying about our product. Don't have to like me to go out there and make money with a product. It's a great product. They should try it out. And he's going to, though. AK said this. AK said, okay, Seth, I guess, I guess. He literally says it. He goes, sigh. I'm literally reading his thing. It says, sigh. Okay, I'll do it. This kid has never used Jigsaw before. Mind you, I bought the product 3 years ago. That's how I coded it. I decrypted their stuff. I reverse engineered their code, looked at the good parts of it, And then the rest of it's complete turd crap, and no wonder nobody can make money with it because it has to be combined with other things. By the way, that's our whole product. Our product is Confluence, but I take their good parts and incorporate it into my dot system in our Flowmaster. So you don't need their order flow crap product because inside of, if you combine Flowmaster with the dots, with the harmonics that we have, mind you, adaptable harmonics, which they don't have. Like there's other harmonic products out there, but adaptable like ours is, not possible. Actual optimizable stuff, they ain't got it out there. Somebody might catch up one day, but it's not out there. But AKA says he's going to do a video comparing AlgoBox to Jigsaw. So ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, let me turn up the music right now on this. Like this is such great news. I mean, wave a red flag. You may as well just like put it up. They're done at this point. But when he does that, it's going to be so epically hilarious. It's going to be an utter fail. He's never used the product before, but he swears up and down and thinks that Jigsaw's better. I guess why? Because Seth streams it live while he loses money, which he will tell you. In fact, you can go over there, anybody, go challenge it, go ask Seth Ellis if he's a profitable trader. At least I can say Seth is a stand-up guy. He will at least tell you he's not a profitable trader. He's not making money even using his Jigsaw product, but he absolutely knows AlgoBox is a scam. He's never used the product, just conjecture, just everything that he thinks. If he would just take a moment, maybe in 2020, turn a new leaf. Maybe, what's that song that they sing at New Year's? Like, may all acquaintance be forgot and all that kind of stuff. Like, maybe turn over a new leaf, 2020. Maybe he'll have a new attitude. Go try it out. See for yourself. And I dare you to bring it. But on that final note, so you were in there for 3 days. So what ends up happening at the end of it?
Well, yeah, that was pretty much the end. After I posted the P&L. Oh, real quick, I wanted to tell you, I did right after I posted it. It was either Gamma or Seth. I don't know which one. I'm not sure. Said which indicator was it that you liked? I'm sure I can reverse engineer it. And I'm thinking in my head, well, this code, I'm pretty
we have
sure
virtualized code, ladies and gentlemen.
Right? I mean,
let me explain a little something. We talked about this the other night, but our code is virtualized. So while Jigsaw and these other guys, like if they put their stuff on my computer, I don't know how to explain this. I'm a master level developer, been doing this way too long. Like, been doing this since the internet was created kind of thing. Like, you can't. Like, and if I can't do it, I know people who, like, we can get your stuff. I'm just saying. But our code, like, I also know how to protect it. Our code is virtualized. It's impossible to actually... Now, look, if you want to look at the thing and try to recreate it with your own whatever, sure, get magical with it. But you cannot actually use standard tools that are out there. Like people say, well, I use .peek and I can look inside of a DLL because it's .net. I'm sure I can reverse engineer Vinny's code. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put out the challenge. I dare you to try. Ask Seth, folks, to follow through on what he said. Have him reverse engineer our DLLs. No, my stuff is not a NinjaTrader, just standard plug-in. I mean, behind the scenes, sort of it is, but it's not. It's a compiled DLL. Go and try to decompose my DLL. I triple dog dare you. Sorry, I know it's a big rant again, but you just said, so Seth had told you that he could reverse engineer my code. Is that what he said?
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't get to have much of a conversation because it was pretty much a snap of the fingers after that. I guess Gamma just went ahead and banned me. I guess maybe after reading the
because
P&L.
see, Gamma has actually tried before. See, he doesn't want. This is what's so sick about these guys. Like they don't want to. Oh, he's approaching the truth. Quick, get him out. Quick, close him. They're like silence. Right. This is what fascism does. This is what communists do. Silence the truth. Silence the truth. Because you almost had Seth have to realize he cannot actually reverse engineer my code. It's not possible to do. And Gamma knows it. I actually think he's semi-smart. Well, the thing is, I've had long conversations with him, like trying to go like, look, dude, just see the light. But I also offended him. I mentally offended him. He's offended by the fact that his IQ test proved out that he's not as smart as me. He's very upset about that. And again, I'm not trying to say that IQ is everything, but ladies and gentlemen, when the guy is so hurt by the fact that, he's just not there, and that's his whole thing that he doesn't like, is that, honestly, I'm trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm smarter than the guy. Like, it's just all there is to it. And he gets real mad about that, though. I mean, he is very protective of his IQ and how smart he is. Yeah. But I'm like, well, then if you're so smart, why are you so afraid of truth or challenge? Because if you really do have truth on your side, then why are you so scared? So they told you that they could reverse engineer some of the stuff that I do. So you said that there's something in there that you really like that you thought was totally custom. Well, what do you really like about our stuff? Like what was it that was so cool?
It was I don't have it up in front of me, but it's a one of the golden ropes indicators with like the modified Bollinger Bands on it.
Okay.
That shows when this kind of when the market dips down, and it'll give you the buy signal, and then when it's getting up there, it'll give you the short signal. And I'm really just kind of honestly, I'm just haven't dived as deeply into it as I'd like to. Which is Christmas and everything going on.
Oh yeah.
As we just started the trial recently. Yeah, but I mean, it's very easy. It's very easy to see clearly what it's telling you, but you can also realize that there's just so much more under the surface that you really have to get into and actually learn. It's much deeper than it would appear at first glance. And yeah. I'm convinced that it's the way to go.
Yeah. So everything that we do, it's highly visual. When it really comes down, the final deal of what we do. So I think you're actually. It's funny what you just talked about. So I know you're just so kind of green under the behind the ears here on this, and don't be offended by it. But so what you just talked about were a few things. So our golden ropes, believe it or not, those are actually just EMAs, but I have rivers around them. That is a zone. Yes. So other places don't have that. We actually create zones around those EMAs, very important ones. And those are simply a guide tool. But what he's actually also talking about is what I call our super bands. So the super bands are a style of Bollinger Band, which everybody's familiar with those. Like outside, they're based on not derivatives. I'm going blank on the standard deviation. I was like, derivative? No, standard deviation. You can tell I was up late trying to wrap Christmas presents last night. So standard deviations, right? So deviations away from the mean, that's why he's talking about the EMAs. But what we do is color code the zones that they get into when they are way out of their standard deviations. And when one of our other signals, which by the way, I don't even think that Mr. Dash here knows this, Ron, who we're talking to out here, I don't even know that he knows our rules yet because he hasn't been through training, right? Can you acknowledge you have not been through our training?
I do acknowledge that, yes.
Yes, but you've just seen some of our videos, and honestly, our tools are very intuitive, very color-coded. I mean, I joke sometimes, and yes, it's a semi-joke, but it's kind of not. My 8-year-old daughter can trade better than most traders, but she just trades with some of our rules, which are, she knows that green means up, red means down, blue means good, and pink is better. She thinks it's better. But it's pretty awesome that the power and the strength behind each one is color-coded. And not too many colors either. Not like a lot of these other tools. I think some of their problems are they just got too many settings. Okay, these guys are like, oh, look at all this. He's got infinite minutes of settings. That's not actually good. You actually need somebody like myself who's been doing this for a very long time to tweak it in and create the settings that I use personally. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't just keep my settings the same. Let me tell you, I'm going to open up the bread and butter of the settings of what's going on here. Behind the scenes, we adapt to current market conditions. If you guys have watched my optimization process, we let the tools do the work. I optimize for a period. We make certain that somebody's going to, oh, it's overfitted. Look, overfit is like, I'm over here doing algebra, calculus, massive amounts of like crazy arithmetic, and this person's over here yelling, moo, there's a plus sign. Look, there's a plus sign. Look, that's like what you learn in the 3rd grade reader, like maybe kindergarten. You learn that there's a plus sign when people talk about overfitting. That's the easiest thing to solve for. At the same time, people just that are ignorant are like, oh, he overfits. Oh, he overfits. Oh, really? How do I overfit? They won't tell you. They don't know how I could possibly not be overfitting. But it's real simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you come in, watch my program, you want to learn how we do that. But no, I don't have an overfit problem. But ladies and gents, we do optimize on a regular basis, on a week by week, and if the market shifts big intra-week, we will also put out a new set of ranges. You've probably seen those. They're posted on our Twitter. They're posted out in our public area, although the most stuff is only in premium. However, here's the key, is that our stuff also adapts to current market conditions, and we build confluence. Confluence means 20 things happening at one time. We're going to execute. That increases our amount of potential. Again, everything is potential. It increases our likelihood, though, of a X event to occur. And yes, that is calculatable, ladies and gentlemen. And the people that hit me on risk, I know earlier we tapped it for a minute, but since we're just gonna, this is a good, I think there's a lot coming out of this little podcast thing that we're doing here. It was off the cuff conversation with my friend Ron, hilariously, who is me talking to me, of course. So I mean, you know, that should just count it right away. But since Ron is me and me, but he's better looking than me, so I'm gonna hope that as I go into 2020, that, you know, you guys keep thinking that Ron's me. However, at the end of the day, we've opened the door for people to look, just try the product. But what was I gonna say about the Confluence thing? Kind of lost it there. Confluence, we're talking about Confluence 15, we're trying to build points of confluence. Oh yeah, the whole overfit thing. We adapt on the fly. I know there was a point, man, I totally lost my track there on what I was about to say there. So like I said, folks, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I've told you guys that's why I have to use the tools, and that's on to end this one. I've got Christmas on the brain. We're gonna go hang out with the fams. But did you have any other like questions before we for I head to? And I appreciate you taking the time here. I just saw you popping in there and you watched the video, and I just couldn't help myself be like, wait, hop on here, hop over here in the meetings room real quick. Let's have this conversation.
Yeah, man. No, that's it. I'm glad. You know, like I said, it was fun. I'm happy we got to the truth of it. You know, I'm always glad to help out with that, and I'm really excited that I discovered the product and the server in general. I think it's really gonna help me out. You know, I really appreciate everything that you do.
Okay, awesome. When since you just said all those amazing things, apparently it jogged my brain. Okay, I was trying to go into the risk side of this. So everybody's like, well, he doesn't focus on risk. Ladies and gents, let's just go ahead and put that one to bed. I know I mentioned about the 60 to 90 minutes thing. That's a time-based one. We also have an absolute hard stop. We have a 5% max loss that we want to. And again, they're like, well, I've seen him go beyond 5%. Really? Have you? When? Where? On what? Where? Like, prove it. Like, don't just say things, folks, ladies and gents. Okay. And by the way, yes, at some point in my career, if you look at some video back 3 years ago, oh no, I've got a 15,000 max loss thing. It was 18,000 that day. OMG, he's got 1,115 videos out there, and there's one where it was beyond 5%. See, it's all lies. Now, everything he's ever done is a total lie because, look, ladies and gents, nobody is perfect. I've tried to also say that the markets, trading markets, is extremely hard. I will also caveat this with, ladies and gentlemen, my tools are not just going to instantly make you a millionaire. They're not going to instantly make you profitable, although there's a strong chance that it could, quite frankly. They're not going to do all the work for you. You still got to combine them with strategies, not just, oh, there's a dot, let me take it. Look, ladies and gents, you got to combine them with other things. You have to actually learn the strategies, but if you do, I'll say that on the risk side of things, we have the max loss for the day. We have the hard stop on there. We also adjust. I've got 2 stop loss strategies immediately behind the dot to take, immediately behind the PRZ to take off, or what we call a momentum exit, which is a push in the direction of your trade. You close out and or push it into a reversal, which you'll learn. You have to practice these things, folks. You don't get it overnight. However, at the same time, as my friend here has obviously already demonstrated, if you stick to just the very, very basic, simple stuff, our stuff color codes it, makes it very highly visual to know when and where to do the things. And if you really even just add one more piece of what we teach to adjust your size. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just give you the simplest thing in the world. If you're trading one contract to start, you got one contract, you lose 3 times, ladies and gentlemen, is there a crime to go on the next trade? I'm going to trade 3 contracts. On the next trade, I'm going to trade 5 contracts maybe, or 10 for what? Like, if you have adjustable size, you realize that this is how poker players win too. Like, I wish people would stop asking, like, well, how many hands? Nobody asks a poker player how many hands they won. But when you go big on the right hand in the right place in the location, you can make up for losses. Like, there are trading strategies that have like a 40%, even a 30% win rate. So stop asking me like, what's the percent profitable? Like the numbers of trades, like the win rate. That's actually not everything. It's the size, it's the profit factor. It's a lot of things that go into that as well. And if you just go through a scenario where you're being able to be taught, our program teaches it all. We don't just go next week start trading. Honestly, I'm worried about you jumping in right away, trading right away. I recommend that people spend 120 days, folks, This is not easy. Your first 40 days, you watch the videos. Middle 40 days, learn how to lose well. The stop strategies that I just talked about. We definitely, so if anybody, my main thing is that people that come out and say that I don't focus on risk, that is so ignorant. I literally force every trader in here to spend 40 days losing. Force you how to learn how to lose for 40 days. Not focusing on winners at all. Your final 40 days, how to maximize your winners, because that's another problem. People always cut their winners short. I teach you a very specific set of strategies. It's called half on, half off ad, half on, half off ad. Like they can't tell you about that. They don't know about it. They don't hear about it. They don't, because they're not in premium, but they don't know. They're like, oh, he doesn't teach anything. He doesn't know anything at all about trading. Right, ladies and gents. I've been doing this 11 years as a professional. I was in prop 2008, 2009, of course. How could I possibly know anything about trading? Yeah. And I of course, dabbled 3 to 4 years prior to that like everybody else did. But I professionally call here's where I started, 2008, 2009. I've got the records to show that, even though people have to, there's no proof that he was. Really, ladies and gentlemen, I have that proof. If you want to see it, we have that. I've even got the original bank deposit slips where I've got the capital in both directions, sending them my initial risk capital as well as all the other stuff. So the stuff that people say, take it with a grain of salt. And this Christmas, ask yourself, do you want to just give it a try? Because 2020 is going to be epic. We're re-implementing Mentorship Mondays. By the way, another one though. Here's my favorite. People still troll me on this. Well, the last 3 months, Vinny hasn't been doing much. We haven't seen much from Vinny at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called life, okay? These 40-year-old virgins, like AK and these other people, they don't get that, okay? But some of us have wives, lives, kids. I got 3 now. And yes, one of those arrived about 4.5 months-ish ago now. So he's a little dude. And yes, y'all haven't seen as much of me. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, people who don't know how busy it is when you have kids, don't know what maternity leave from organizations is or any of that. Some people have lives, you got kids, you do life, About a year and a half ago, they said, well, where did Vinny go? He disappeared for a little bit. My dad had a stroke, people. My dad had a stroke, was in the hospital, had to travel down to Houston to take care of him, take care of them. We had to move my parents, like the people these scumbags you saw in the last video, if you guys watched the last video, how they literally put like pictures of my old house that I grew up in with my basketball court there in the driveway that me and my dad used to play ball on, that we can't play ball on anymore because my dad can barely move around. Thanks a lot, folks. I had to wash my dad, like literally having to help your dad to get into the shower, clean him, help him wipe his poop. Ladies and gentlemen, you get a new perspective on life. Be grateful for life, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christmas time. Help somebody who needs help and stop being assholes. That's a pretty good thing. Now, people are going to say me too. Well, look, I'm perfectly fine with that. In fact, if everybody was kind of nice to me, like y'all want me to be nice, like honestly, y'all go watch videos back from me in 2016 when I started this whole thing and hadn't been trolled to death. I was a pretty nice guy. You guys have made me jaded. I have come at you harder because I've recognized this. There's a Bible passage for you guys here at Christmas. We're celebrating Jesus' birth tomorrow. Here it is. It says that a wise man, just a simple word, issues his correction, and he is better for it. But beatings required for backs of fools. Because a fool will not learn by a soft-spoken word. It requires a beating. Well, I learned that, so we are here to deliver in a verbal way. And of course, like, he verbally abuses us. Well, then that means, ladies and gentlemen, it's working. All right, my friends, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me here a few minutes before the old Christmas, and St. Nick's going to come down the chimney. I'm going to go back over here. My kids have been playing some Minecraft back here behind me with the cousins, so I'm going to go play with them again. Thank you for hanging out for me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Ronald Dash, folks, who is also me, apparently. The rest of the gang, I'm sitting out that big H-town. See ya. Merry Christmas. See you, Ron.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good one, dude. Have a Merry Christmas.
All right, bud. Later.
Later.
to do this real quick. It won't take long. I just think it's hilarious.